The channel that I just watched was called WX Chasing. And, because I worked in emergency fire protection, emergency medical services, for those that know about this big snowstorm that came across the Sierra Nevadas, from the west side in the Bay Area and San Francisco, over towards Reno, Nevada. I've been up through that Interstate 80 many times. So this guy did a video showing where this tow truck driver was pulling these big rigs out. And all these big rigs were just snowed in, right? So people were asking questions like, what's the matter with these guys? Didn't they know the storm was coming? And all the rest of it. So this tow truck driver, to his credit, was digging out all these trucks, one after another. And it's like, wow. You see the train up there with the plow, because the train's got to go through too, right? The freight's got to move. And so I put a little blurb in there and I said, because people were like questioning, what's the matter with these people? And so I did the math many, many, many years ago, actually when I was a child, under the loss of gain of electrons, the acceleration of electrons, the Bill capacitors on a motherboard. Right? And how that relates to water tables, which are matrix tables, which is mathematical in order, fire in order, right? And what is known as divine Ryte order, divine Ryte timing, and divine Ryte balance. So I put a little blurb in that. I said, well, think about this. Imagine that there's 2,000 employees that, say, work in a factory in Ohio. And anybody that's worked in production control and done inventories of what you hold in inventory, which is held in memory, to build things, right? Like DNA. Consciousness running DNA. But in this case, let's say that you're building parts for nuclear generators, right? So you're on a schedule. 2,300 employees are on a schedule. So they either make their parts in-house, or they buy parts, or do both, or a combination thereof. So the guy that's in charge of the inventory realizes, hey, I got an order here to get out 50,000 parts XYZ within the next 2 months. And I'm running low on parts because I need X amount of parts in order to be able to produce and fill that order. And when that order is filled, that's what I'm getting paid. That's called a receipt in the exchange of electrons. So those are water table transactions between one party and another party, or one terminal and another terminal, or multiple terminals. Because you have all these battery-operated slaves that are working in the factory in Ohio, say 2,300 of them, right? So I work for that company. So I order X amount of parts that I'm going to need to fill that order. And guess where they're coming from? The city of industry, or Richmond, California, near the Bay Area, right? So that order is supposed to leave day before yesterday so that they arrive when they're supposed to get there. Because this is what happened. The people in Richmond said, listen, we're already backed up. And this is when production people and inventory people know what's called the time. Each part, okay, has a schedule on when it can be made and when it can be delivered, and the exchange of electrons as to a water table matrix. So what happens is they said, listen, there's going to be a delay. We're not going to be able to ship those parts until the day before yesterday. And so I got 2,300 employees here. This is close. They have to arrive by Monday. Otherwise, I got to send 2,300 employees home. Whoops. That truck is sitting in the middle of Interstate 80. Now, plug the central nervous system into that. Okay, between the West Coast and say, Ohio. Okay, as a result of a weather disturbance and interference pattern. And what was it interfering with? The flow of consciousness energy that is performing jobs as battery-operated slaves because they're held captive to the paycheck. And who was running the pay system? Who do you think? So these aren't coincidences. This is called timing. And timing factors are mathematical in origin, with cellular transcription, absorption, between inhalation and exhalation between two planetary magnets. I know. So I gave a shout out and I put up there, great job, you guys, these guys that are out there opening up the highway. You got the CHP out there. And let's have a party up there in the snow. Start lighting fires, warm the place up. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the weather. I know. It's nuts, isn't it? The hex nut cases. The psychopath running the mathematical system. I know. So anyway, have a beautiful day. I do love ice crystals. I do love to be in the snow. Absolutely. Yeah. Have a beautiful day. We love you all. Be good to yourselves.